Okay. Oh, let's press the, I got it. All right. So today, guys, a hot tip today, or what I'm going to teach you today is, I'm going to ask you a question. Have you ever stopped to think about the order of your signature block and what you've written in the chat box and how you can use this as a sales tool? So that's my question. Who's ever stopped to think about the order of which they've written their information in the chat box? Ooh, yep, Nathan has. Anna said that they did, right? Yep,
Quite
so
often
Anna
change
has.
it around though.
All right, sorry.
I say quite often I change it around though.
Okay, so let's have a look at the order of which, if you think of it as a sales tool, let's look at the order of which a person will look to buy. Comes down to this, right? When you, and I do this, if you scroll up, mine's up there somewhere, right? I have order. If you find mine, right, we'll go to mine because I have specific order for this. I'm going to explain it on the way down, right? Now, this is in my signature block as well on my email. So some people have different ones. So I'm sure that, who's the lawyer? Where did she go? You met Jeanette. Yeah. So you're a lawyer. So I'm not sure how, you might just have a different email signature, which is more your traditional type email signature block. But for the sole traders, we can play with that more, and depending on what your branding is, but you can play with it more. And I call this a sales signature block, where you can actually write what you sell in it, and it allows people to either A, buy from you, but at least understand what you do. So when we come out networking, big thing about getting networking to work for you comes down to follow-up. Hey, Lana, how are you going? So it comes down to follow-up.
Misty, how you going? Sorry, I've been having computer issues. My computer decided to update as I was coming in.
No, it's all good, right? It's follow-up, follow-up, follow-up. And I always recommend that when it comes to following up, if you do it via email and you've got a signature block, you don't ever have to explain yourself and who you are and what you do. You can say, it was great meeting you at that particular event, but your signature block should tell you what it is. So if Jeanette's was as a lawyer, hers is going to say Onyx Legal, and you're going to get the idea that she's a lawyer, so she doesn't have to explain herself. So someone will go, oh, she was the lawyer that was out, right? For others, so you might have that sort of signature block, or one like this, where it actually just tells you. So I never tell anyone who I am. I assume that you know. Actually, I assume that you have absolutely no idea, and I let my signature block do all the work for me. So no matter how many emails I send out, so if I did 200 a week, let's say, that's 10,000 times I've advertised myself over the course of the year. And it's remarkable what you can end up getting from a signature block, right? But I put then my signature block back into the chat. Now, here's the order of which I do it. I start at the top with my name, what I do. If I had a business name, I'd write that, right? So I suppose I should write Misty Henkel Sales Training, but I don't really have branding. So I've just written my name, what I do, phone number and email address. There's a reason why the phone number and email address goes right up underneath what it is that you do. Particularly networking, but at any stage, right? Let's take it networking. We advertise ourselves with an elevator pitch. If that's all that somebody needs to pass your information on to someone, the first thing that they're looking for is, what are their contact details? So if we scroll through and have a look at other information that's in the chat box, so we have to read through and go, where's the phone number? Where's the email address? How do I pass that on to my sister? Like, she really needs help here. And how do I do that, right? Whereas if you put your contact details up the very top, then it's already there, because that's the first thing that they're looking for. The next bit that I go to is what you sell. If you can write something about what you sell. So I happen to literally put in what I sell, how much it costs, and the link to buy it. Right? I don't have a website. So this becomes my number one sales tool, because I don't have a website, right? But anything, let's take Lucia as an example. She's a nutriomedics consultant. She could write my top 3 favorite nutriomedic products. And she could actually just write, let's say it was lip gloss, cost, and then it could be something else like, I don't know, day cream, cost, something else. And there'll be a link at the bottom that allows them to click in to go in and have a look, right? So you can pop in those things that you like. After that, notice for me, I've got YouTube videos, right? Now this is, for me, I run sales classes, so most people don't know much about me unless they hear, oh, she does sales classes And lots of people will say, she's amazing, she go to all those sales classes, but unless you get a feel of who I am, it's tricky for someone to just come in and go, yeah, look, I've done sales before, so I don't need it, right? So I have my sales classes, there are a few of them from YouTube so that you can click on it and you can see that that's exactly how I am. But here's my point, right at the very bottom, notice website, Facebook page, it could be LinkedIn, it could be any other, I call these your third-party tools for which advertises you. Email, website, put down the bottom. We really don't need it. A customer doesn't need your website unless they feel they need to research you more. But if they have heard you and they can find your contact details or they can see what you sell, right? Then the things like the website are last. Put it down the very bottom. Don't make them continue to research you and then finally get to your contact details, because they might have just wanted to contact you first. So have a think about when you do things and put some order in there. Think of your website is a third-party tool. So is LinkedIn, Facebook, all those other ways that you can be researched, right? As a third-party tool, it means that we could look you up, but we might not need to. So have a think about, if you wanted to recommend someone to someone else, right? Let's say, here we go. Let's say I got Rebecca, right, up in the top corner. If you heard that one of your family members was deciding they were going to sell their house or they were thinking of buying a new one, you go, oh, I must tell them about Rebecca. The first thing that person will want to know will be, well, what are their contact details? Oh, hang on a second, I've got a website. But if it's like, yeah, well, I mean, I can look up any mortgage broker in their website. Like, seriously, if you say that she's good, just give me the contact details and let me start there. It could be as simple as that. And the website will be superfluous. If the person really trusts you and the people that you recommend, then a website may not be that important to them. Finding them on Facebook may not be that important to them, right? So there is order of which a customer will stop to look at things. And so that's my hot tip is think about the order of which you've written stuff and make it easily set it out into the chat box, because then others can pass your details on easier based off the component that they need about you. That's it. Do I ask questions? Is that what happens? Do I ask
Yep,
questions
that's
here, or
the
do I
next
ask
thing I